Oh my gosh, hello! Welcome to another episode of the WrestleCast. As a big motorcycle freaking whizzes by me. It is late at night right now. I got out of work a couple hours ago. A couple hours ago. We were just standing in the parking lot talking. But anyway, I'm here now. Sorry this review is so late. I just haven't really thought of doing an episode just because... Really, I had a lot to say about this month's pay-per-view, so I hope this episode goes relatively quick, because, I'm not tired, but it is like 3 a.m. right now. It's Friday, I don't give a shit. So anyways, WWE BattleGround 2015, they're in St. Louis, really good crowd on Sunday, and a pretty good card overall. I'd say this was way better than Elimination Chamber or Money in the Bank. Hopefully SummerSlam delivers on more than just really the marquee match that they're pushing. It's gonna depend on how they book other things to make sure it's inventive. I'm liking with how storylines are looking to go in certain directions, and I just think on a scale of like either satisfied or dissatisfied, I was very satisfied with BattleGround, especially for a pay-per-view that has a reputation of being one of just the throwaways, just a transitional pay-per-view to get to SummerSlam. I think it was really a lot of stuff happened in this pay-per-view that was really important. So let's start it off. I didn't see the kickoff match between R-Truth and Barrett. I think this feud is just dead. Both of those guys are pretty much dead in the water, and the whole King of the Ring gimmick is getting old and boring. And R-Truth, I have no idea why R-Truth is working, like I said, with just like a dead end sort of gimmick. And both of those guys, like, they're good workers and they're mid-card guys, but really they're never going to be anything more than that. And the WWE knows this. So, I don't know where they could really go with it to kind of escalate this feud, or they're just going to drop it like they do all the time. It didn't really matter. Barrett won. It's good that he won, but, he really should be winning more, and he should get some kind of a push. He should have gotten a push when he's batting his Barrett, but that's a whole other story. Wade Barrett's been in the company for way too long to not be in a main event picture, besides the leader of Nexus against John Cena. Anyways, that was a kickoff match. The first match of the pay-per-view was Sheamus and Randy Orton. It was okay. It was a standard match. Nothing really all that important happened. They gave Orton the win. I'm guessing because they're in St. Louis, but it just, I don't know. Sheamus holding the briefcase. I don't feel, if you book Sheamus every match to lose and he has the briefcase, I just don't get it. Why give Sheamus the briefcase if he's not going to look like a legitimate threat to challenge the champion, who, pretty much we're to assume that it's going to stay with Seth Rollins until WrestleMania. But, I just don't, he's not threatening with that briefcase at all. I don't look at that briefcase and go, he could possibly cash it in at any time. At least with Seth Rollins, it was symbolic of, like, okay, he's going to be champion at some point. And it was dropped for a while until WrestleMania, where he cashed in perfectly in the middle of the match that Roman Reigns can get the championship. But like I said, I think they're wasting that with Sheamus. They really should have just given it to someone who needs it, like Neville. At least, like, it would have been a good thing for Neville, because, like, Sheamus doesn't need it. He doesn't need it to be a better heel. He doesn't need it to become champion again. I just don't know what they're doing with him. And again, Orton is still a face. Why? I feel like Orton, to me, is always a better heel. He was right to work with Seth Rollins as a face. Man, I just don't know. Like, I know he's working Sheamus right now, but I don't know. Put him with someone different, Anyways, it was just a standard match. Nothing really surprising there. Orton got the win. So, next match was the tag match. The New Day versus the Primetime Players as the champions. This one was okay. It was better than what the matches that they've been having, like, on TVs and stuff, and on, other like the last pay-per-view. But I just don't know why they have the titles on the Primetime Players. They're getting better, especially in the ring, but they don't have any time to talk. I don't know. I just don't think that there's anything really unique about them as baby faces, other than the fact that they're going up against pretty much the biggest heel faction in the company right now, which is the New Day. The New Day, all three of those guys individually have a lot of talent. And it's nice that they have gotten over, especially as heels, because to get as over as they have, because a lot of people thought that this was going to be like the new 3MB when they just put Kofi and Xavier Woods and Big E Langston together. Three guys that are all very talented and could all stand on their own. But I think really it was a good idea to give them heel heat, because they're getting really good heat. Heel heat, at least. And, so yeah, I mean, people like chanting New Day sucks, and eventually I just think they'll get the titles. Maybe at SummerSlam they'll get the titles back. I just don't think the Primetime Players should have the titles. You should build up the Primetime Players and really make the audience want the Primetime Players to be the champions. Not, oh, hey, they're facing the New Day, so, millions of dollars, do a little dance. Which is, honestly, it's fun. It's fun to do that, but, like I said, I mean, in the ring they're getting better, but I don't believe that they're not baby faces because people want them to win. They're baby faces because of who their opponents are. So that's my thoughts on the tag match. Next match was one of the best matches of the night. Second best wrestled match. No, honestly, I think this is the best match wrestling-wise of the night. Not my favorite, but the best. It was Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. This match, hey, they have great chemistry. This is a great match to put on the middle of the card. The audience was really, really into it. Bray is getting better. Roman is getting better. They're both making each other better, which is awesome. And this match was also a vehicle for Bray to get the win, but also for Luke Harper to once again align himself with Bray Wyatt. I don't know where Eric Rowan is. Maybe he'll come back to the Wyatt family. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll save that for next week or before SummerSlam or something like that. But I just think Bray, to progress as a singles competitor, he doesn't need the Wyatt family behind him, but it's just, I mean, it's that iconic, that's how they came into the WWE, and not that Luke Harper and Eric Rowan work well as singles guys, because, I mean, I think Luke Harper is really talented, and he could be a pretty good single star, but Eric Rowan is just, he needs something else, and even Luke Harper, maybe they could change his character a little bit to where, he doesn't, he's not as similar to Bray, but by nature, I mean, their characters are a little bit the same, but definitely, Wyatt needs to be pushed to that next level, man. I really think that when he took Money in the Bank from Roman Reigns, he should have climbed the ladder and got the briefcase himself and stolen the briefcase. I'm okay with him being booked that way. And then this match could have been for the briefcase, and it would have meant a lot more. But still, I mean, the match was really, really good either way. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do at SummerSlam, because I'm sure it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt in some sort of Extreme Rules, whatever, death match, whether it be, you know, last man standing or anything like that. I just think it's going to be cool. Anything goes, maybe, I don't know. I think that would be a very entertaining match. The next match was my favorite match of the night, simply because it was the NXT Divas Revolution. Continuing, so the Divas right now in the Divas division, and I know what they're going to do for SummerSlam. They're going to do all 9 Divas, have a triple threat, triple tag kind of thing, or like a tornado tag, which would be fucking mental, and be a shit show to book, or even they might go another direction, which I'll talk about. So these 3 teams, one team is Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. Another team is Naomi, Tamina, and Sasha Banks. And then the third team is Team Bella, which is Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, and Alicia Fox. So the way they're booking this, it's basically, it was a way for Stephanie McMahon to introduce the NXT Divas, and really spotlight all the Divas, in like a different way, because they're recognizing that, hey, you know, Team Bella pretty much has a stranglehold on the Divas division, and they're terrible, and they're heels now. They're definitely heels. Whereas during Mickey, wow, I miss Mickey James. During Nikki's reign as champion, she's kind of gone back and forth as like, oh, we're supposed to cheer for Nikki because she's facing like Naomi, or she's facing Tamina, or, you know, and now, oh, she's facing Paige, so I guess boo her. But now it's like they've made them the villains, and we truly have, not even really heels and faces now. We have, you're on a specific team. And to showcase the NXT Divas in this way was awesome. And it still wasn't as good as, like, Raw, because Raw was a monumental occasion of, like, here's what's been going on in NXT, people. And what's funny is that a lot of people watch NXT, people that have the network, but, you know, some of these people that go to, like, live events and stuff in Raw, like, you know, we have a term in just regular everyday life that we call, you know, the sheeple. You know, people that are just like, you know, just follow trends and whatever. You know, they're like sheep. There's kind of a market of WWE fans like that, like casual fans. They don't have the network, probably, and they don't get to watch NXT. So these 3 divas coming in, you know, they might be new faces to them. So for BattleGround, what happened was each of these 3 teams needed to pick one representative to compete in a triple threat match, and it was Brie Bella, not Nikki Bella, and Brie's like the most terrible out of all of them. Cop car behind me. So it was Brie Bella versus Sasha Banks and Charlotte. This match was really a vehicle for Sasha Banks and Charlotte to wrestle each other. And I would like to see Sasha Banks versus Charlotte just as like a non-NXT environment. And the way they booked this was brilliant too, because they just had Charlotte and Sasha just kind of kicking Brie out of the way, and just most of the match was Sasha and Charlotte working over each other. It was a great match. People were popping for it. You know, people were paying attention, which is awesome. Still, the other divas around the ring shouting and stuff, and it's distracting, it's annoying, you know, but in general, Charlotte and Sasha, I think, just put it all out there. And it wasn't even their best match anyway, because they had Brie in there, and it was a different environment. But I think for people who haven't seen NXT, it was a big step. And obviously, I mean, Charlotte got the win. in a perfect finish. So bravo to whoever booked that. Charlotte, they did this to also protect Sasha as the NXT Women's Champion. Charlotte tapped out Brie for the win and not Sasha, which is awesome. So it makes Charlotte and Sasha both look strong because Sasha didn't technically lose. It was Brie that, had to take the loss. But that's okay. Obviously, they're building up Charlotte for bigger things. Sasha's going to drop the title to Becky. I would like, or maybe even Sasha's going to drop it to Bayley, and Becky's going to come up to the main roster. I don't know. I think either way, Bayley is your next NXT Women's Champion. But maybe I'll save that for a later video, or a later episode as I talk about NXT a little bit more. Who I think should be where, and, I haven't talked about that in a while. So anyways, the Divas, bravo ladies. That was a very, very good match. Solid place on the card, too. And then we only had 2 other matches. It was Cena versus Owens. And round 3, I've been thinking about this match a lot. Because it wasn't good as number 1. It was better than the second one, but still there's a lot of things that they whipped out everything in the kitchen sink in the first match, seemingly. So there's a couple creative high spots. Owens took the AA off the second rope, and that one was the one where I was just like, okay, Cena's gonna get the 3 count. And then Owens kicked out. And so then I was like, holy shit, they might actually have Owens go over. And then they had Cena kick out of the second powerbomb. I was like, oh, here we go. And they had Owens tap out. They had Kevin Owens tap out? Come on, man. I don't get it. Cena doesn't need the win. But if you're gonna have him go over, I thought it wasn't going to be a clean... I thought it was going to be a disqualification or something. I didn't think it was going to be a clean finish. But Cena went over clean. I just don't know where they're going with this. And I get it. Maybe they're saving it for SummerSlam. If they're going to have another match. But it should be something else. It should be like a death match. It shouldn't be just another United States title regular match again. Because Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens round 3 actually, is looking in Brooklyn the night before SummerSlam, is looking to be really, 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 really good. Because both of those guys are amazing. And I hate Cena. And Cena doesn't need to win. So, out of 10, it was a 7.5. But compared to, the first match was an 8.5. And the second match was a 7. And this was a 7.5. It wasn't great. I didn't like the finish. Owens shouldn't have tapped out. Alright, so, what was next? So the main event. Shaky on the main event, man. These main events with Rollins and, the returning Lesnar, and they've been pretty good, especially when they had Ambrose working Rollins. Anything with Rollins in it, I've been pleased with. This, the way they booked it, it was just a vehicle for The Undertaker to come back. And I have really mixed feelings about this. But let me try to explain it. So, Undertaker, I've said this before, but Undertaker was the first guy that really suspended my disbelief when I started watching wrestling seriously in 2007. He was my guy. He was everything, and that's when he was the man in the company, or at least on SmackDown, and he was working Edge, and he was working Batista, and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. I mean, the guy has done everything. And it seems like he came back at BattleGround. I feel like we're getting 2 more Undertaker matches. Or maybe even he's going to work Raw or something like that. But for the time being, it seems that Undertaker is back to full time. Maybe not working all the time because he shouldn't. He's 47 or something. It's ridiculous. But he's just, he's up there. And he's gonna work Brock Lesnar because he wants revenge on Brock Lesnar for breaking the streak. And the way they did it, his promo on Raw after was way better, justifying his presence and stuff when he when he made his return at BattleGround. Man, people were popping for it. And really and truly, as soon as he popped up, I was like, ugh. I was like, man, every time he goes to do a move or he goes to take a move, I hold my breath, and it sucks because it's going to hinder me from enjoying their SummerSlam match. I really hope it doesn't, but at the time being, it's, I don't think that I'm going to just be able to suspend my disbelief because really, Undertaker, it's within question if he can really move and work. But his promo on Raw was very, very good, and he says that, he wants revenge on Lesnar, not because he broke the streak, but because for the next year, he paraded around and couldn't stop telling people that he broke the streak. And the way The Undertaker explained it, it was very, very good. So I see this as a pretty good program and a way for The Undertaker to get, to be, wow, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm tired. Taker to get, retribution and to, to really gain that sort of, respect back, from Lesnar. And, the way I see them booking this, is Taker's gonna go over at SummerSlam. There's no way that Taker's not going over, unless, of course, they want Taker and Brock at SummerSlam. At SummerSlam and then at WrestleMania as well. To be like, third time he's facing Lesnar, 0-2, back against the wall at WrestleMania, and he wins, and he retires. And either way, if he ends up working Brock, or he ends up working Sting, I know that Taker versus Sting is something that is going to draw. But man, it's going to, like I said, it's going to draw for the type of audience that they want to draw. They want to draw from, which is basically the casual audience. Oh my god, Undertaker's still wrestling? Oh my god, he's going to wrestle Sting. You guys remember Sting? It's doesn't make sense for him, for his last match to be against Sting, and his first match against Sting ever. So really, it makes more sense for him to work Brock in a retirement match. So either way, if he wins or loses, he retires. But he's going to win against Brock, either at SummerSlam or if they put it off till Mania. I think we're getting 2 more Undertaker matches. We're getting SummerSlam, and then we're getting Mania. I don't see him. His retirement would make more sense to wrestle Brock, to be honest with you, but I know they want to do Taker versus Sting. At least Sting wants to do it. I don't know what Taker's opinion on it is. But Steve's been fucking licking his chops since he went to the WWE of I want to wrestle Taker, and made it a point to be before I officially retire, which Sting's coming back too. I don't know if he's gonna come back for the winner or something, or the Rumble or whatever. I don't know who he's gonna work, but have him work Bray Wyatt or something stupid. All right, guys, I'm tired. Like I said, I had a lot to say about this pay-per-view. I'd rate this pay-per-view a solid 8 out of 10. It was really, really good, at least for a throwaway show. in transition to SummerSlam. So hopefully SummerSlam, they can sort of innovate this card so that it gets a little better. Best case scenario, I want to see Sheamus get booked strong. I want to see the Divas all have a chance to shine in a big Divas match. It might not even have to be a title match. It might be, but I don't know. And then I want to see the tag titles change hands. I want to see Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns round 2. I want to see Kevin Owens beat the shit out of John Cena again, even though I don't think they're going to work again. And I want to see Lesnar versus Taker. I don't know how good it's going to be, and I don't know who I want to win. I think Undertaker should win. But anyways, guys, that is my thoughts on BattleGround. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments or something like that. And I will see you guys in the next episode of the SG WrestleCast.